Do you like cars? Oh my god, me too. Do you like vintage cars? Based. The Bergamo Historic GranPrix, it's an annual historical racing reenactment that is organized annually around the perimeter of the historical city center of Bergamo, also called Circuito del MURA. A straight circuit that in fact goes through the external roads, on top of the walls that are big as your mother. The circuit has very long straights uphill on the south side sector, connected by a chicane where the Venetian door of San Giacomo is located. It has also medium straights and very tight corners, as one that reminds the famous Monaco corner, and no joke, apart that during the day, there was the Formula 1 Monaco Grand Prix, and that was the most funny coincidence ever, but this track was called the Italian MONACO by Ezio Nuvolari, basically the only winner of the only kart race hosted there, for the European Car Championship. Yes, this track got car racing action once in the 1935, the same year, and Choti from Girls and Panzer dropped on SoundCloud Tokyo Fantasy. But it wasn't the last race for the track, since it hosted bike racing from the 37 to the 53, where the track stopped racing once and for all. But its story doesn't end here. As I mentioned at the start of the video, Bergamo Historic GranPrix, it's an historical racing festival, covering from historical Formula cars, to vintage bikes and vintage Grand Touring cars, ranging from cars of the 30s to the 60s. Thus we'll race around in 6 matches, where first we'll run the single-seaters, then the bikes and then the GT cars, after the circle repeats again, so you have the possibility to see them a second time. They are not the only cars that will go around the circuit. Some expensive supercars, older new will act as pace cars, along some vintage cars and 2 very loud Alfa Romeo GTV. And when I say they are loud, I really mean it. Like, thunder screech loud. Everything mixed, with the drivers full sending it for the whole track, as they were escaping Gubbio after an unforgivable lunch. But why not going around and see some cars? This is an Ace 1000 GTC, also known for Arena, because in fact it looks like a Ferrari GTO. This car was present in all the edition I was able to attend, and when I see it, I love it. This is a Ford Lotus Cortina, and gotta be honest, in person it's quite a unit of the car, that I initially thought it was a Ford Falcon, since how big it was, but surprised when I found it was a Cortina, since I actually knew the Cortina Mark I. I loved it seeing it, quite big car coming from the British, not gonna lie. And last, but not least, since I can't show every vehicle present in a festival, or I will never end a video, this is an Indian Scout 600 short frame, an American motorbike, which was quite interesting, because it looked like leather jacket with wheels. And that was it. It was fun talking about another obscure racetrack, this time, with a whole event around it. If it weren't for Bergamo Historic GranPrix, I wouldn't know of the existence of this really obscure road course, and since I like vintage cars, was definitely a win. Sadly, this video was meant to be publicized around June, but due to real-life chores, I couldn't working on it as I wanted to. But luckily I was able recently to find the motivation to continue this lovely video, and here we are. Like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you like this format, which I would make a video series about these obscure racetracks, and even cars that need to be known. This was Trazione Integral, and this was the story of the Circuito del MURA and of Bergamo GranPrix. You can watch this video, it's cool, and see you at the next race.